one of the volunteers with the San Quentin Warriors and Kings and the San Quentin Media Center. And this is another segment of Inside Out, where you on the inside get to ask questions of the outside. And this particular segment is with the San Quentin Warriors and Kings and the different volunteers, coaches that go in there. And it was posed by Mr. Brian Acey, who asked, over the past year, what have you been doing to substitute for your basketball activity? And have you played basketball since the restrictions have been lifted? And what was that like? Are you still in the game?
So over the past year, I have not been playing a ton of basketball, but my golf game is top notch. I've been doing a little bit of that, and I've been doing some traveling and just getting outside and enjoying being with my family. So it's not been a ton of physical activity, but within the last month, I started playing again, and as enjoyable as basketball is, it is equally as painful trying to get back into shape. So,
well, that was my follow-up question, was what might you recommend for the men so that when you do go back there, they're ready for you?
Yeah, I would recommend that you guys stop playing basketball, lifting weights, eat way too much food, and yeah, then you'll be ready for us if you do those things. That's the key to success.
Okay. Are you anxious to get back there? The guys, they're kind of wondering if everybody has sort of forgotten about them. And I said, no, I don't think so.
Not in the slightest. In fact, I spent some time with some guys who just cleared parole very recently. So, and we were talking fondly about the old days and talking about how it's not going to be too long until I'm back in. So, very excited as always. And I still wear my San Quentin bracelet 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, which is a reminder. And I'm still praying for you guys every night at 9 o'clock.
Gentlemen, hello. This is Mark. It is great to be speaking with you again. Kind of. I've certainly been thinking a lot about our games in San Quentin over the past year. I have just started playing again after about 12 months away. There's a little underground church league here in a concrete gym with concrete floor and concrete benches. But at least it's a game. And I'm just barely starting to get my legs underneath me again. Before then, I was just I shot around by myself on a little elementary school court near our house that thankfully wasn't locked down like so many other courts in the area. So it was just me out there doing ball handling drills and shooting drills, but thinking of the day when the Bittermen and our teams would be coming back into San Quentin. Very much looking forward to that. I think the closest thing I got to a team sport for most of the last 12 months was playing hacky sack with Zaid. Many of you know Zaid, and we did a little hike. Ted and Free and Damien and Zaid and I, and Ted brought a hacky sack along. That was the only competition I had for most of 2020 and 2021. Get back in shape. Get back on the court. It's hard. It's definitely hard to maintain motivation. I've been talking to the guys on our team and also to Zaid and Pep and Thad, and it is hard to find the time and the motivation to get out there, but we can't give up. All of us are too young to retire. We've got to stay on the court for as long as we can. So as rough as it's been over the last 12 plus months, start walking, start running. I know Thad is he hadn't run for a while, but he's just started running again because we know we have to play again. We need to get back together on the court. So do what you can.
I haven't been playing basketball because of the restrictions, and I did after about 6 months jump back into tennis for a while, but tennis just doesn't have the attention focus that I have when I play basketball. When I play basketball, I don't think of anything else. I don't see anything else. I don't know what's going on the sidelines. But in tennis, in between every point, I'm drifting off. So I'm watching every other game. And it's like, so basketball is really the only sport I can do that really takes that 100% focus. At the time, we play at some public schools here with the open gym. So they were a little more tighter. They're just now lifting up. About last week, they opened up the school for some open basketball. And I've gone to a couple high school games that have opened up, but very restricted numbers going in there, which any kind of basketball I like. I junkie, so it's like, I'll watch it, I'll play it, I'll the Warriors back on. It was delightful, but I haven't played, and maybe next week I will. I've actually been going out shooting at the elementary school just to get a feel for the basketball and playing a little horse with a couple of buddies of mine and trying to stay in that kind of shooting shape. But I'm definitely out of shape and conditioning for the last year of not doing nearly as much as I used to. I was one step away from being in there, making stupid mistakes when I was young, spent a weekend in jail, and it was not fun. I couldn't imagine what they go through. And I know what I have. I know how I feel and how I jones to get back to playing and watching and interacting with it. And I just can't imagine not being able to do that along with nothing else you can do. I feel for them. It's very, very difficult. I'm sure they're just as anxious as we are to get out there and be healthy, but yet play and get your mind off of everything else and just have fun, because it's so invigorating to play with them, because everybody's so grateful, and you realize that, hey, one stupid mistake and anybody can be in there. And it's like, it's really makes you appreciate every moment when you see the sunshine out here and you get to see the sky all the time. So yeah, hang in there. We'll be back, and maybe my shot will be a little bit better because of practicing. And we'll look forward to the camaraderie and the family that we've created there at San Quentin.
Hey guys, it's Ted checking in for Ginny's video. How do you work out when you're stuck? I've been doing a lot of biking. I know that's not an option for you guys, but it's a really good sport for old people. A lot of hiking, and I'm also trying not to eat so much. As an old friend of mine once said, at our age, when you eat a donut, it shows. It sticks to you. So eating less food, working out a lot, not playing hoops, playing tennis is my running around sport. A lot of biking, a lot of hiking, and then doing some small weights. I can't do a lot of weights, but some light weights, lots of reps. Use it or lose it, brothers. Hope you're all taking care of yourself. Nice to see you, even if through a Zoom lens. Have a good day.
A lot of those guys have been in for a long time, and if they've earned their right to get back out and kind of change their ways, then yeah, it's good to give them another chance. So
John, you've been doing it a long time, and thank you so much for doing it. I know the men appreciate it. They're saying to me, "Oh, I hope they don't forget about us," and I'm like, "No, not at all, not at all."
Absolutely not. So yeah, this is great. I'm glad you were able to do this. Nice meeting you virtually.
It's kind of a mixed feeling that I get sometimes too. Of course, I want them to have their freedom, but then
right.
You might be losing one of your best guards or one of your best forwards. So you don't want to, you almost want to say, wait, don't go. I need you to score, to be the high scorer. But
yeah. Well, and here again, I guess we could always use them out here. We play in leagues out here. If we can hook up with them, that's always good too. But yeah, I mean, yeah.
We actually were kind of fortunate. As you know, the pandemic shut us down about a year and a few months back, and obviously the gyms closed and all that. Well, about 6 months after that, we actually found a private gym, and we had about 8 of us or 10 of us that as a core group decided we were going to not do anything except we were going to play basketball because we just cannot not play basketball. It's just one of those things. And so we did that for about 6 months, and it was awesome. We did it 3 days a week. And then unfortunately somebody brought COVID one weekend, and 6 of the 10 guys got it. 2 of them ended up in the hospital. So it was not something to mess with. And so we ended up, the other 4 that didn't get it thought that they had already had it before. So once everybody kind of recovered, we figured we had group immunity, so we went right back to it, and we've been doing that ever since. So we've been playing consistently now again for about 3 months, and it's been fantastic.
Is the name of your team the COVIDs or?
Yeah, right. No, this is just a local group of guys. It's not an organized group. The group that we play with when we come to the prison, we haven't actually gotten together and played in a long time because most of those guys are from the peninsula, and they've been completely shut down because Santa Clara County and San Francisco County are they were way more shut down than Contra Costa County, which is where I live. But exercise in me is kind of funny. I as a kid, I was a runner, but in my 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, I hate running, and I don't like doing any exercise except basketball. Basketball is the greatest form of exercise on the planet. We've been pretty blessed, but we miss coming to the prison so much. We always think when we come that we're going to do something for them, and we always walk away saying, man, those guys did something for us. And that's how we always feel when we leave. And we always try to encourage them, but we walk away always being the ones encouraged. So, we miss them. We really look forward to getting back to that.
I know a lot of the men that I've talked to said they haven't played and they've gotten back on the court and their knees are buckling.
Right.
And
no,
they're not in shape at all. So I'm wondering about the guys inside, what shape they're going to be in.
Yeah, well, I would think that the guys inside are probably going to be in better shape than we are, because I'm sure there's other things they can do, I would guess. But I saw one of my group I hadn't seen in like 8 months, and he was always a very active, played college basketball, played college football, was a very much an athlete. And through his 30s and 40s, he always stayed in great shape. But when I saw him the other day, he had gained 80 pounds.
Oh,
in the 12 months of COVID, because he was not exercising at all. And he's like, we wanted him to come out and play. He's like, I got to lose this weight before I can come play. So I think a lot of guys are in that situation. I've got 3 or 4 guys. We have an extended group of about 30 of us, and probably 5 of those guys all said, I want to come, but I put on so much weight, I got to lose it first before I can get out there.
Well, you know what? Tell them to come anyway, and they can be cheerleaders along with me, because they're valued by the men inside. I know that. And maybe that'll give them a little bit of extra motivation. Maybe before the game starts, we can all do exercises together or something.
Right. That'd be great. Well, we're anxious for it to start back up. We have a feeling it's not going to happen for a while, but we're counting the days for it to happen, because we're not only San Quentin, but Chowchilla. We're excited to get back.
I'm sure everybody is anxious to get back on the courts. And as you can see, the volunteers, the coaches, we're all anxious to get back in there as well. So everybody get back in shape, and hopefully we'll be playing ball soon. If you want to participate in Inside Out, of course, give your questions to Skylar or Lieutenant Robinson or Brian Acey, and we'll try to get them answered soon. See you next time.